In this life, I didn't choose to sit next to Jiang Jin. I didn't cling to him asking for kisses, hugs, or being lifted high. I didn't even promise him that I would bear children for him and serve his parents. That year, when filling out college applications, he chose the Southern Yangpu Military Academy. I, on the other hand, applied to the Northern University of Foreign Studies. Later, I attended diplomatic negotiations. He stood by my side as a guard, his eyes filled with a crimson intensity. Song Anren, why did you abandon me? Northern Foreign Language University. Song Anren, are you kidding? Didn't you say you would marry Jiang Jin after graduation and have children for him? A classmate snatched my pre-filled college application form and exclaimed in surprise. The commotion was quite noticeable. It drew a crowd of onlookers. I frowned and very seriously put away my volunteer form. My classmates wouldn't let it go and kept teasing me. Didn't you say you didn't want to continue studying? Why did you change your mind? Even if you changed your mind, shouldn't you go south with Jiang Jin? Why did you choose the north? Honestly, you don't want to marry Jiang Jin now. I advise you to think carefully. There are plenty of people who have their eyes on him. Jiang Jin is academically excellent, good-looking, and comes from a strong family background. He's the kind of guy every girl in school admires. If it weren't for our childhood engagement, I wouldn't have gotten so close to Jiang Jin. I replied calmly. When I was younger, I didn't understand things well and mistakenly took the jokes between elders seriously. Now, I just want to focus on studying and realizing my own value. My statement drew laughter from the surrounding classmates. Song Anren, you probably don't even believe those words yourself. Jiang Jin just helped Lu Wanyuan solve a few difficult problems. And you're already this jealous. How petty. Alright. Even engaged couples can quarrel at the head of the bed and make up at the foot. If Jiang Jin hears such foolish words, he'll only look down on you again. Perhaps it's because my affection for Jiang Jin was too openly displayed in the past. To the point that now, no matter what I say, everyone regards it with distrust. I don't want to explain too much either. Let time prove it. Just at that moment, the bell for class rang. Jiang Jin walked into the classroom with many classmates. His tall and straight figure, well-defined facial features, deep-set eyes, and his unique scholarly family temperament. He always stood out as a dazzling presence in the crowd. Can't take my eyes off, even though I've lived a whole lifetime. Seeing Jiang Jin again now still makes my heart uncontrollably race. He looked straight ahead, but his hand reached into his pocket and took out a piece of white rabbit candy, placing it on my desk. My observant deskmate noticed and immediately gave me a silly grin. Look. Jiang Jin still cares about you, so don't be so stubborn. Tear up that application form. If it's time to get married, then get married. If it's time to marry someone, then marry. If I had a marriage agreement with Jiang Jin, I'd rather not go to school right now and go back to warm his bed. My cheeks flushed, and scenes of Jiang Jin kissing my lips countless times flashed through my mind. I quickly pushed the white rabbit candy in front of my deskmate. Here. You eat it. I don't like sweet things. My deskmate was stunned. Really? You used to treasure anything Jiang Jin gave you like it was the world. Now you're just giving it to me. I nodded, without any emotion. Yeah, it's yours now. Our movements weren't big, but Jiang Jin, sitting behind us, still noticed. Then I heard the sound of Jiang Jin kicking over his chair. Someone joked. Young Master Jiang, you've messed with your little wife now. Jiang Jin let out a cold snort. If you don't speak, no one will mistake you for a mute. After school, I handed the completed college application form to the teacher. The teacher was also taken aback when he saw what I had filled in, but said nothing. I slung my backpack over my shoulder and walked out of the school gate. Jiang Jin was already waiting at the school entrance. He saw me, his gaze cold, then turned and walked away in the direction of home, his long legs moving swiftly. I followed behind him, keeping a certain distance. My parents died during the revolution while trying to save the Jiang family. Jiang Jin's grandfather, in gratitude for my parents, adopted me. The old man promised at my parents' grave that I would be the only daughter-in-law of the Jiang family. Now, it has been 8 years since I started living with the Jiang family. Grandpa Jiang treats me very well. However, Jiang Jin's parents do not like me. They think I am not good enough for Jiang Jin, nor am I worthy of being their daughter-in-law. So, even with the status of a lifesaver as my backing, even after decades of my devoted service, I still failed to earn even the slightest respect from Jiang's parents. So, when Lu Wanyuan interfered in my marriage with Jiang Jin, they strongly supported Lu Wanyuan. Wanyuan comes from a family of scholars, and she herself is a university professor, now with students all over the world. What do you have to compare with her? Your parents died saving us, so we owe you. Why are you dragging Jiang Jin into this? You've held the title of Mrs. Jiang for so many years. Surely that debt of gratitude has long been repaid, hasn't it? Even my own children have sided with Lu Wanyuan. Aunt Lu is the one who deserves a father with such distinguished military achievements. A housewife like Mom should know her place. Mom, sign it. Dad doesn't love you otherwise. Why hasn't he come back all these years? Let Dad's love be fulfilled. He has dedicated his entire life to the country. We shouldn't morally blackmail a national hero. Their every word cuts me to the core, but I refuse to accept it. Isn't it said that a soldier's honor is shared equally by his wife? Why, when it comes to me, have I become the source of Jiang Jin's misfortune? I packed my belongings and headed for the border. I was determined to ask Jiang Jin one question. Why? Why did you divorce me? But before I could arrive, I encountered a mudslide and died in the remote mountains. Do you really want to go north? Before I knew it, Jiang Jin and I had already returned home. He stood leaning against the door, his figure towering over me by more than a head. I nodded. Yes, after careful consideration. I think what your uncle and aunt said is right. We are still young and shouldn't take on the responsibility of a family too early. He narrowed his eyes, his handsome face darkening. You don't want to marry me anymore. How could I not want to? Whether in my past life or this one, my heart can't help but race at every move Jiang Jin makes. I just don't want to be trapped in a marriage without love anymore. I want to stop loving. And I want to let go. I wanted even more to stay away from the Jiang family. I responded with a not paying attention to the change in Jiang Jin's expression. Then I went into the kitchen and started a fire to cook. When the meal was ready, Jiang's father, mother, and grandfather also returned. I served each of them a bowl of rice. While we were eating, Grandpa Jiang looked at me. When I went to the school today to help you with the withdrawal procedures, your teacher mentioned that you want to apply to Northern Foreign Studies University. Jiang's parents were taken aback and turned to look at me in unison. Only Jiang Jin calmly ate his meal, saying nothing. I nodded. Yes, I'll prepare well for the exam. I won't trouble Grandpa with the idea of dropping out. Grandpa Jiang frowned deeply. Studying isn't bad. It's just you and Jiang Jin. Jiang's parents relaxed their brows and quickly interrupted. Dad, today's youth have their own aspirations. And that's a good thing. You shouldn't suppress the youth's drive. Besides, nowadays women and men are equal. There's no reason Jiang Jin can attend military school while Anren can't continue her education. Grandpa Jiang couldn't refute it. He just looked at me with a hint of sorrow. I understood that Grandpa Jiang wanted to give me shelter, but how could he have imagined? In this home, only he is willing to offer me shelter. Everyone else has long regarded me as worthless. Just at that moment, Jiang Jin spoke up. Let's not even discuss whether you'll pass the exam or not. Even if you do get into Northern Foreign Languages University, will the school provide you with a living allowance? Mother Jiang paused for a moment and immediately realized. That's right. Jiner's military academy doesn't cost anything. But a school like foreign languages probably isn't free. Song Anren. You're not still thinking that after turning 18, the Jiang family will continue to support you? Father Jiang also furrowed his brow. Before Grandpa Jiang could speak, I interjected. I can work part-time while studying, and the school can also provide student loans. By then, I'll definitely be able to support myself. I looked at Grandpa Jiang and gave him reassurance. I will study hard and strive to win a scholarship. Grandpa will support me, right? With that said, Grandpa Jiang could only let out a sigh. As for Jiang Jin, he threw down his bowl and chopsticks, his voice turning even colder. I'm full. I'm going back to my room to review my lessons. Jiang's parents glared at me, then blamed me for Jiang Jin's reluctance to eat more. I didn't say anything. Grandpa Jiang, with a serious tone, said to me, since you've made your decision, focus on your studies. We'll see about the future. If you face any difficulties, let me know. I nodded, gazing at this kind-hearted elder, wishing time could slow down just a little more, so that I could have more chances to honor and care for him. Evening, I washed the bowls and chopsticks clean. Then, with a grateful heart, I helped Grandpa Jiang soak his feet. Only after that did I have time to return to my room and review my lessons. But as soon as I entered the room, Jiang Jin pressed me against the door panel, his eyes fixed on me with a strong sense of possession. The one who kept saying she wanted to marry me. What's going on now? Going north for further studies. Not giving me a child anymore. My cheeks flushed with heat as I struggled. Let me go. He snorted coldly, leaning down to press his lips directly against mine. This kind of thing. It's not the first time. In the past, I was always deeply immersed in it, unable to extricate myself, even if it was frightening, even if worried. But because I love him, I go forward without hesitation. But now, I don't want to be controlled by him anymore. I bit down hard, breaking his lip. He winced in pain and pulled away. Then, a pair of deep eyes stared at me. Didn't you used to love it when I kissed you? What's wrong now? Even if you don't want to marry me right away, you don't have to resist me this much. I tried to push him away, but he was so strong that he effortlessly picked me up and placed me on his lap. If it's about Lu Wanyuan confessing to me, I can explain to you. I have already clearly rejected her. If you don't believe me, you can ask her. I see. Lu Wanyuan also confessed her feelings to him. So what if he refused? Lu Wanyuan was far more resilient than he had imagined. Soon after, he went to Yangpu Military Academy. Lu Wanyuan would follow him to Southern Normal University. The entanglement between them was only just beginning. I suddenly felt wronged. The grievances from both past and present lives intertwined. He was the one who started flirting with me first. So why am I the only one who's fallen so deeply? During all those years of marriage, how could he manage to ignore me so completely? Is his heart made of iron? Why are you crying now? My eyes grew red. His brows softened, and his tone lost the harshness it had just moments before. A long silence. He let out a soft sigh. I know what you're thinking, afraid I'll leave you behind when I go south. Right. Don't worry. I've already promised Grandpa that I'll marry you as soon as the exams are over. I'll do my best to get you pregnant before I head south. The position of Mrs. Jiang will definitely be yours. I shook my head. I tried my hardest to hold back the tears that were about to fall. Finally, I asked the question I had wanted to ask in my previous life. You don't really love me, so why insist on marrying me? And why must you trap me in the Jiang family? He paused, his expression tightening. Even the hand circling my waist loosened slightly. I seized the opportunity to rise and stepped back a good pace away from him. He furrowed his brow. What's all this talk of love? You are my wife. It was decided many years ago. I looked at him calmly. So, you married me just because of the promise your grandfather made at my parents' gravesite. You married me only because it was a responsibility your grandfather forced upon you. He said nothing. His thin lips slightly pursed. I took a deep breath and said, you're a man. And I'm a woman who isn't too bad looking. Maybe you have a little crush on me, but that feeling started as a teenage infatuation. You don't truly know me, and you've never let me into your heart. Physical attraction isn't love. So let's end it here. The atmosphere froze for an instant. I heard Jiang Jin let out a soft laugh. All right, then let's end it here. With a loud bang, the door slammed shut. Jiang Jin left. But I wasn't disturbed by this little incident. I picked up my book and repeatedly reviewed and reinforced the knowledge points I was going to test. Get out. It was the only way for me to leave the Jiang family and escape Jiang Jin. The next day, Jiang Jin didn't wait for me to go to school together. When I walked into the school gate with a classmate I happened to meet, Lu Wanyuan walked up to my side. She raised an eyebrow and asked, "I heard you're not going to marry Jiang Jin anymore." I ignored her. She let out a light laugh. "At least you have self-awareness. You're not good enough for Jiang Jin. If you force yourself into marriage with him, you'll only end up living a lonely life." I kept walking toward the classroom without stopping. She wouldn't let it go, as if determined to see the look of anger and frustration on my face. Yesterday, I kissed Jiang Jin in the small grove. He accepted my confession and promised to come to my house to propose after I go south. I couldn't help but let out a snort of laughter. "What are you laughing at?" "Nothing much. It's just that Jiang Jin told me yesterday that he rejected your confession. And for a moment I didn't know which of you was lying." Her face turned red instantly. The classmates walking beside me also started to heckle. "Stop joking. Lu Wanyuan. Song Anren is Jiang Jin's fiancé. Even if they're not married now, they're still engaged. Is it really worth it for you to go after him like this?" Playing the third wheel, Lu Wanyuan clenched her teeth. "What engagement? That's feudal superstition. Nowadays, free love is advocated. It was Song Anren who kidnapped Jiang Jin. Kidnapped his marriage." My classmate still wanted to stand up for me. I stopped my classmate. I said solemnly, "You're right. Free love is advocated now. My engagement with Jiang Jin is feudal superstition. So I declare that the engagement between me and Jiang Jin is invalid. You can go ahead and pursue him without any hesitation." Lu Wanyuan paused, and the classmates around her were also stunned. "Song Anren. Are you serious?" "Absolutely not joking." With that, I looked up and walked into the classroom. Unfortunately, Jiang Jin was standing not far away, his eyes distant and profound, as if he could pierce a hole right through me. When Lu Wanyuan saw Jiang Jin, she hurriedly ran toward him. She was afraid Jiang Jin hadn't heard what I had just said, so she rushed to repeat it. But Jiang Jin didn't give her a chance, cutting her off directly. "Lu Wanyuan, do the words you said yesterday about liking me still count?" Lu Wanyuan was stunned for 3 seconds, then immediately nodded. Of course. Jiang Jin's eyes were fixed on me, and he almost gritted his teeth as he said, "Then from now on, you are my girlfriend," he said as he approached me, until he stood right in front of me. He deliberately curled his lips, with a look of disdain, and chuckled lightly. "Perfect. Finally, I don't have to keep that damn engagement." I looked up, meeting his gaze. She smiled slightly and said, "Yes, Jiang Jin. You are finally free." He snorted coldly. "Yes, after being haunted by you all these years, I can finally breathe a sigh of relief." The bell for class rang. I sat down in my own seat. Lu Wanyuan took advantage of the moment before the teacher arrived to move her seat next to Jiang Jin. My deskmate asked me, "Are you really going to give up on Jiang Jin?" I nodded. "What else? I'm only 18 am I supposed to have his kids, serve his parents, and be his maid? I'm not stupid." After that day, Jiang Jin and Lu Wanyuan often stayed together. They went to and from school together, and studied together. They often made intimate gestures in front of me, passing water, feeding, tutoring with homework. They look very much in love. Many classmates asked me if Jiang Jin was really dating Lu Wanyuan. I said I wasn't sure. Many classmates urged me not to have conflicts with Jiang Jin, warning that I should be careful not to let Jiang Jin really be taken away by Lu Wanyuan. I remained non-committal. Things that can be taken away probably never truly belonged to me in the first place. The news of the two being inseparable eventually reached the ears of the Jiang family. Liu Wanyuan's parents were well-known professors, and her uncles, aunts, and cousins in the family were all extraordinary individuals. Upon closer investigation, Lu Wanyuan's background turned out to be stronger than Jiang Jin's. After conducting a thorough investigation into Lu Wanyuan, Zhang's parents developed a deep fondness for her, but they understood Mr. Zhang's heart well. So they had no choice but to suppress their inner joy, until Grandpa Jiang fell seriously ill and passed away. Just after the 7th day of mourning, the Jiang family began frequently inviting Lu Wanyuan to their home to visit, even invited Lu Wanyuan to stay at their home for a while. The words implied that Lu Wanyuan was being promised as the future daughter-in-law of the Jiang family. Lu Wanyuan was very happy. She would even come to me specifically to show off. Grandpa Jiang is a man who values loyalty and affection. But raising you to this age has already repaid the debt to your parents. You should have some self-awareness. Right. The Jiang family doesn't like me. I'm well aware of that. After the exams, Jiang Jin and I will get married, so you won't be staying for our wedding. Right. Of course. I still need to work to earn my tuition. Naturally, he wouldn't stay. But Jiang Jin, who had always obeyed his elders, suddenly developed a rebellious streak, citing his grandfather's death. He claimed he needed to observe mourning and firmly refused to marry Lu Wanyuan. Even in the middle of the night, he sneaked into my room, pinned me down on the bed, and questioned me repeatedly. Are you waiting to see me make a fool of myself now? I didn't understand. He mocked himself. I'm the only son in the family, and originally they were reluctant to let me go to military school, fearing something might happen to me. So even though my parents didn't like you at first, they still agreed to let you marry me and have children. Now there's this Lu Wanyuan. Her family background has made my parents absolutely fond of her. I can't escape this marriage anymore. I pushed him away. Not in a good mood. Regardless of Lu Wanyuan's looks or background, she's more than enough for you. Why are you so ungrateful? He let out a soft snort, his eyes bloodshot. I wish it were you I married. Song Anren. In the past, no matter what I said or did, you would listen. Now, even though I'm so close to Lu Wanyuan, you don't feel the slightest bit of jealousy. How has your heart changed so much? How has it changed so much? Perhaps it's because I can no longer see the respect in his eyes for me. Perhaps it's because I saw the letter he wrote to Lu Wanyuan, filled with his affection. Perhaps those wasted years have worn away all my attachment to him. If you feel that marriage is too heavy a burden for you, then let me pursue you first. Okay. Don't go to the north. There are foreign language universities in the south too. We can go to the south together. Song Anren. You are in my heart. This was the first time I had heard such passionate words from Jiang Jin. His eyes were red, sincere and full of hope. The love of a open and pure. But Jiang Jin, I haven't loved you for a long time. In the previous life, on the way to the border defense, I had already stopped loving you. The mudslide was also something I encountered on my return journey. Being buried in that mountain was also because I was too eager to go back and sign the divorce papers. So I ignored the weather forecast at that time. Because I discovered, a journey alone is especially light and swift, without the ties of children and grandchildren. The scenery along the way can be so breathtakingly beautiful. So I haven't reached the border yet. I had already planned a route to travel around my homeland. But fate had other plans. I had been reborn. I no longer wanted to follow the path of serving my in-laws, raising children, and nurturing grandchildren. I looked at the young and handsome Jiang Jin, and the inner turmoil in my heart had grown calmer over these days. All right. I promise you I'll go south. I replied to him in a soft voice. A slight smile curved his lips, and the light in his eyes flickered. He held me tightly. Once again, he kissed me on the forehead. He turned and walked away. Unfortunately, he ran into Lu Wanyuan, who had come looking for him. Lu Wanyuan immediately burst into tears. Jiang Jin frowned, wanting to say something but not knowing what to say. I only heard Lu Wanyuan say, Jiang Jin, you stole my heart. I can't just let it go. Even if I can't marry you now, even if there's someone else in your heart, I will still fight for you. She declared with conviction, without a trace of fear. I also saw a hint of emotion in Jiang Jin's eyes. Those years. Perhaps Lu Wanyuan gradually entered Jiang Jin's heart through those faint glimmers of emotion. Jiang Jin began to keep his distance from Lu Wanyuan. He started waiting for me to go to and from school. He prepared breakfast, snacks, and drinks for me. Compared to before, Jiang Jin's kindness toward me became increasingly evident. Lu Wanyuan watched from the side. Her eyes filled with admiration and envy. My desk mate was a bit confused. Isn't Jiang Jin dating Lu Wanyuan? Why is he bringing you food and drinks? I chuckled lightly. Who knows? Maybe men are just like that, fickle and unfaithful. My desk mate frowned. Jiang Jin wouldn't be like that, would he? He seems like a decent guy. I replied. You can't judge a book by its cover. Physical education class. I didn't go outside to play. Instead, I stayed in the classroom reviewing my textbook. On the basketball court, Jiang Jin kept scoring, causing a chorus of screams from the girls. Many female classmates handed their water bottles to Jiang Jin. Jiang Jin searched for me in the crowd, but I wasn't there, so he took the cup of water handed to him by Lu Wanyuan and drank it. This scene, I, sitting in the classroom, could see clearly. When Jiang Jin returned to the court, Lu Wanyuan walked into the classroom triumphantly and sat in front of me. Jiang Jin rejected my parents' proposal. But that doesn't mean you two can be together. I nodded. Indeed. She hummed lightly. Even if you go south with him, he's under military management at school and can't meet you anytime. But I'm different. Me uncle is an instructor in Yangpu, so I can come and go from the school and see Jiang Jin whenever I want, when the time comes. It's not certain who Jiang Jin will choose. I looked at her and said, I won't go south, so you can rest assured. She was taken aback. Not going south? Are you really planning to go north? I put down my pen and said very seriously, no matter where I go, I won't go south. And I won't marry Jiang Jin. But you know him, what he can't have is always the best. The more I reject him, the more he clings. So let's just endure a little longer. There's only 1 month left until the exams. After that, I'll go somewhere no one can find me, including Jiang Jin. Lu Wanyuan looked skeptical. You're definitely just throwing a tantrum and saying that on purpose. I chuckled lightly. Believe it or not. But I suggest you shift your focus away from Jiang Jin a bit during this time. He's quite fickle. The more you chase after him, the less he likes it. Instead, keeping a little distance makes him appreciate you more. Lu Wanyuan didn't take my advice. Instead, she appeared by Jiang Jin's side even more frequently, and because Jiang Jin constantly clings to me, so, the three of us often appear together in various situations, making people around us frown. My desk mate kept sighing in disbelief. Your love triangle is truly incomprehensible. Lu Wanyuan is pressing you step by step like this, and you haven't reacted at all. How can I possibly let Jiang Jin drive her away? If Jiang Jin is sensitive, you could also kick her out as your fiancé. How have you become so cowardly? I shook my head. If Jiang Jin wanted to get rid of her, he wouldn't need me to say anything. Besides, I've already said I'm not Jiang Jin's fiancé. The road belongs to everyone. There's no reason I can leave while others can't. My desk mate looked surprised. You're so broad-minded. I pointed at the English vocabulary book in front of me. We agreed to go to Northern Foreign Language University together. Have you memorized the words yet? You have time to gossip with me. My desk mate looked at the vocabulary book, grimacing and grinning. Abandon. Give up. Leave. I glanced at the exam countdown on the blackboard. Finally, only 1 week left. Not long after the exam ended, Jiang Jin received the admission letter from the Southern Yangpu Military Academy. He took me to the department store to buy outfits for the trip south. He picked out many styles of clothes, shoes, and bags for me. Standing in front of a gold shop, he had his eye on a diamond ring. Boss, show me that one. The shop owner smiled at the sight of us two students. Nowadays, it's trendy to exchange rings when getting married. This one would be perfect for my younger sister. I can get a discount with my student ID. He took my hand and tried to put it on. I pushed back. Don't buy it. It's too expensive. Besides, we're still in school. And this isn't appropriate. He looked at me with starry eyes. Why isn't it appropriate? You're my fiancé. It's only right for you to wear the ring I gave you in advance. So, the ring slipped onto my ring finger. The cold sensation once again pulled my thoughts away. Past life. before he went south. I accompanied him to buy what he needed, things he would use. We passed by this shop. And I took a fancy to this diamond ring displayed in the window. I said I wanted it. He said it wasn't necessary. But he offered to buy me this ring. That was strange indeed. Another week passed. The acceptance letter from the north also arrived in my hands. The moment I received the admission letter, I packed my bags and boarded the train heading north. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't leave a single letter behind. I experienced the changing scenery from south to north all by myself. Unlike the southern water towns, the air in the north is dry. When I first arrived, I wasn't quite accustomed to it, but as time went on, amidst the hardships of working while studying, I no longer have time to worry about the chilblains on my hands or the chapped skin on my face. I must devote all my energy to it. Only when I become stronger myself, only then could I be free from constraints and not entangled in hardship. The second semester of my freshman year, I received a letter from the south. Inside the envelope was 100 yuan and a letter. The letter was sent from Jiangjin. He said, "I don't know what happened between us that made you unwilling to even tell me you had no intention of coming south. If you had insisted on going north back then, I could have changed my preference to go north as well. Perhaps my love wasn't enough, making you feel so insecure. I'm sorry. Over the years, because of that damn pride and so-called male dignity, I never expressed my love. From now on, I hope Miss Anran can give Jiangjin a chance to properly pursue you." This 100 yuan was his monthly school allowance. He said that since I chose to further my studies, I should focus on studying well and not let life's difficulties hold me back. This money, consider it as a loan from him to me, and I must accept it, but I don't want to take it. Jiangjin is someone who is very persistent and hard to shake off. Once you get deeply involved with him, it's not easy to break free. So, he sends money every month. I always send it back to the Jiang family untouched. Perhaps because it happened too many times. Jiangjin eventually found out that I hadn't touched the money he sent me. Later, his envelope only contained a letter. In the letter, he said he often had a dream. In the dream, we got married, had children, and experienced a brief period of happiness. But because he was always on the border and couldn't return home, he made me suffer for a lifetime. He was relieved that it was only a dream. He would never let me become a housewife burdened with family duties. He said he would protect me and give me happiness. But happiness given by others is not reliable. Only happiness that you hold in your own hands lasts long. The first semester of my junior year, I've won the scholarship for 2 consecutive years. Most of the problems in life have been resolved. I was able to immerse myself more deeply in my studies, and even had extra time to participate in gatherings with foreign friends. Through one activity after another, I came to understand what diplomacy truly means. Because of language issues, the story of being humiliated during interviews abroad is widely circulated in the School of Foreign Languages. Our teachers, standing at the podium, often speak with righteous indignation. They refuse to communicate with us, citing language barriers. So we will use foreign languages to establish diplomatic relations with them. They disregard Chinese. So we will use foreign languages to show them the profundity and richness of Chinese. The purpose of learning foreign languages is to penetrate their culture, study their core values, take the strengths and discard the weaknesses, so that they can clearly understand the strength of the Chinese nation. Why have stood up. We can also say no in the face of national defense matters. Language exchange is often the step with the least loss. Senior year internship. I had the privilege of participating in study sessions hosted by several domestic foreign language universities in the United States. Coincidentally, Lu Wanyuan was among them. She took the initiative to greet me, her eyes still holding the same disdain for me as before. "I never thought you'd actually be willing to let go of Jiangjin." The first thing she said upon meeting me was still about Jiangjin. I faced it calmly, but her mouth never stopped. There were countless complaints. "Jiangjin knew you weren't in the south, so he went north several times to look for you, but he never dared to meet you. He was afraid that once he saw you, you'd cut ties with him." Funny. You didn't like him much before. But now he's acting like a desperate follower. I wanted to change the subject and ask about her recent situation. But she couldn't stop talking about Jiang Jin. What situation could I have? I'm still going around in circles for Jiang Jin. This time I came out because my parents couldn't stand seeing me lamenting over a man every day. So they told me to come out and relax. As she spoke, she cried. I've also wondered if I was too clingy, making him think I was too cheap. So for a while, I deliberately kept my distance from him. For 3 whole months, I didn't reach out to him, and he didn't contact me even once. He's not as low as you say. What exactly do I lack compared to you? Why has Jiang Jin been rejecting me? I don't understand. And I can't figure it out. I asked my uncle to arrange a position for him in the Southern military, but he refused. I compromised and could still help him get a unit in the North. Because you're in the North. So he was tempted, but after careful consideration, he ultimately turned me down. He said he didn't want to owe me a favor or have any entanglement with me. He even mentioned that in a past life, just having a letter from me made you angry. He likes you. And only you. Sometimes I don't even know what he's talking about. I even suspect he's just making up excuses to reject me. Song Anren. I don't want to compete with you anymore. You and Jiang Jin should make up. I don't want to see him so heartbroken over you. As long as you ask him to stay in the North, he will definitely stay. Otherwise, if he really goes to the border, the chances of you two meeting in this lifetime will be slim. The border is so dangerous, though. You really have the heart to let him go. I quietly listened to her finish speaking, silently ended that meal. In the end, I didn't take the initiative to contact Jiang Jin. I don't know how many of his dreams are about me, but I know clearly, his dreams can only come true on the frontier. To bind someone with love, that is, after all, too narrow-minded. Many years later, I have become a seasoned diplomat. At every diplomatic event, I am always the one who draws the most attention. International journalists have described me as the most gentle yet most sharp-tongued rose of China, just as my teachers taught me back then. I must use a language they can understand to tell them that today's China is no longer a soft plum that anyone can squeeze. Not entering the 21st century, I was tasked with visiting the United Nations. The general escorting me was Jiang Jin. After completing a series of diplomatic meetings, we sat in the waiting room, waiting for the flight back home. He stood right beside me, as tall and dazzling as ever. We are like strangers who have never met. He is carrying out his orders. I am completing my task. Not a single word was exchanged. Well said. He guards his nation. I protect my honor. We on our separate paths. Walking very well, very steadily. If there hadn't been that sudden assassination, I might never have heard his questions choked with emotion. The moment the gunshot rang out, I was shielded in Jiang Jin's embrace. Immediately, our position was engulfed by the flames of war. I tightly covered Jiang Jin's chest, where blood was gushing out, and my heart trembled with fear. He looked at me, his gaze tender and indulgent, and chuckled softly. You're all grown up now. Yet you're still crying like a child. I tried my best to calm my emotions, but the tears kept flowing. I'm sorry for making you cry again. In my past life, I couldn't protect you, and in this life, I couldn't help but disturb you. Don't cry. Taking a bullet for you is my honor. I was stunned. I couldn't help but wonder if he, like me, had also been reborn. I heard him say again, do you still remember the dream I mentioned to you before? Over the years, it has become clearer and clearer. I dreamed that you gave up your lifelong happiness for my parents and our child. I also dreamed that Lu Wanyuan came to you, forcing you to divorce, and you trembled all over as you cried. I began to re-examine myself, wondering if I could truly bring you happiness. It turns out I couldn't. I'm sorry for all the big talk I said before. The color of blood grew even more vivid. My clothes were already soaked through. His breath grew fainter and fainter. But strangely, he still wanted to speak. Song Anren. I've always been wondering why you didn't want me. Because of this dream, I finally figured it out. Fortunately, You didn't agree to marry me. Otherwise I'd feel so guilty. The way you stood at the diplomatic table. So beautiful. Shining with light. I always bragged to my comrades. Saying you were my girlfriend. Ha ha ha. Cough cough. Don't be angry. I was just bragging. Cough cough. I held him. Tears streaming down. The doctor will be here soon. Don't close your eyes. I won't allow you to die. If you die, who will support me from behind? A weak country has no diplomacy. Truth lies within the range of your cannons. Over the years. Without you, how dare I stand there and scold foreigners to their faces? You must live. The mission of building a strong military and a powerful nation still rests on your shoulders. He held me tightly. His eyelids heavy. So heavy. Finally, in an extremely soft voice, he told me, "Don't worry. My comrades will protect you from now on. They are as determined as I am. You just go ahead and be the most beautiful." Most sharp rose. Jiang Jin died. Awarded a Medal of Honor. After attending his funeral, I embarked on a journey abroad for an interview. The general accompanying me was a classmate and comrade in arms from Jiangjin's military academy. When we flew abroad together, he kept talking endlessly about stories concerning Jiangjin. Many people pursued Jiangjin during college, but he turned them all down. Sometimes I wonder if he has feelings for me. I've been afraid for 4 years. Among them, there was one named Lu Wanyuan, who also kept saying she wanted to marry him. He found it annoying. So every time Lu Wanyuan asked him out for a meal, he would have me take his place. Later, somehow, I ended up marrying Lu Wanyuan and having a child with her. Fate truly works in mysterious ways. Diplomat song. You are the goddess of our army. Many in our unit admire you, including Jiang Jin. He even said you two used to date. But none of us believe him. What a braggart. Saying that, the few people sitting in the cabin all had reddened eyes. I looked at the soldiers before me, each bearing a striking resemblance to Jiang Jin, and felt my heart grow fuller. Jiang Jin was right. He and his comrades would always protect me, protect the people, and protect the country.